They told you it's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that losing your morning erection has nothing to do with age and everything to do with a part of you that's gone quiet? Because the truth is your body still remembers. It's not broken. It's not done. It's simply waiting for you. Right now, deep inside you, the entire system that once brought you energy, confidence, and connection is still there. Alive, intact, just not fully awake. And in this video, you'll discover 3 exact points on your body that, when gently pressed with purpose, can help restore your natural morning strength, without pills, pressure, or shame. But before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Type your city or country in the comments below. And if this speaks to you, don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss any content that helps men over 60 reclaim their health naturally. You're here for a reason. And what we're about to explore just might change the way you feel in your body every morning. Let's begin with a truth most men have never been told. The first point, above the pubic bone, there's a belief many men carry silently. If I've lost it, it must mean I'm too old to get it back. But that belief is not only wrong, it's harmful. Because what I've seen again and again, after 3 decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, is this: your body is not broken. It's just quiet. The morning strength you once had, the kind that made you feel alive, capable, and connected, it hasn't disappeared. It's simply fallen asleep. And the first step to waking it up? It begins just above your pubic bone. Right there, beneath the skin, is a point most men never think to touch. Not with curiosity, not with intention, but when you press it gently with breath, with presence, something starts to happen. You may not feel a sudden surge or dramatic change, but often there's a warmth, a subtle awareness, a quiet message returning from a part of you that's been ignored. I remember one man, George 70, retired school librarian. He once told me, "Doc, I didn't know how much I missed feeling like myself until I pressed that point and something stirred." It wasn't about pleasure. It was about recognition. A sense that something within him still worked, still responded. That's the power of this spot. This area lies near a cluster of nerves and vessels responsible for arousal and circulation. Over time, when unused, those signals grow faint. But when you bring awareness to this zone, especially with calm, steady breathing, you begin to remind your body how to feel again. And what's most surprising, it's not the physical reaction that matters most. It's the emotional one. This practice isn't about performance. It's about presence. It's about restoring the quiet dignity of knowing your body still hears you when you learn how to speak its language again. So I invite you tonight or tomorrow morning to try this. Sit somewhere quiet. Rest your hand just above the pubic bone. Don't press hard. Just breathe. Be still. Be curious. Because every journey back to strength starts with one small act of listening. If you're still with me and this resonates, type 1 in the comments below. If you're unsure or hesitant, feel free to type 0. Wherever you are, your response helps us know you're here and ready. Now that you've awakened the front of the body, there's another place, one far more hidden, that holds even more untapped power. A place no one ever talks about, but every man should know. Let's go there next. The second point, the hidden valve beneath you. There's a part of the male body that almost no one ever mentions. Not in locker rooms, not in doctor's visits, not even in quiet conversations between friends. But it might just be the most powerful key to restoring circulation, sensitivity, and confidence after 60. It's the space between your scrotum and your anus. A small, forgotten area that Eastern medicine calls CV1, in Western medicine, barely calls anything at all. But what it lacks in attention, it makes up for in impact. This space isn't just tissue. It's a valve. A soft but mighty gate that can restrict or release blood flow, energy, and nerve response to your entire lower body. And most men? They go their whole lives without ever giving it a second thought. I want to tell you about Raymond, 73, a retired electrician. Quiet, thoughtful, the kind of man who keeps his worries to himself. He once told me, "It feels like the lights just went off down there, and I don't remember when they stopped working." I introduced him to this second point. No pressure, no awkward movement, just a soft towel rolled up and placed beneath him while seated. His only job? To breathe, to sit, to feel. Within days, he began noticing a warmth, not intense, but real. A pulse, a flicker, his body remembering its rhythm. Because when you gently stimulate this point, what you're really doing is inviting flow back. Blood that has sat stagnant begins to move. Nerves that went silent begin to whisper. And with that comes something far more important than any physical reaction: hope. What I love about this practice is how simple it is. You don't need supplements or routines. Just a few quiet minutes, seated in stillness, allowing your body to breathe into itself again. And in that stillness, something opens. Raymond sent me a short note 2 weeks later. "Doc, I feel something again. Not just physically, but like I've come back home to myself." That's what this is about. Not fixing what's broken, but reconnecting to what was never truly lost. If you've ever felt that sense of disconnect in your lower body, I encourage you to try this. Sit, breathe, notice. And if this second point surprised you, leave a 2 in the comments below. Let me know you're with me. Because there's one more place, one even less obvious than this, that completes the trio. It's not on your groin. Not even close. But once you learn where it is, it could change everything. Let's find it together. The third point, the forgotten path. Along your inner thigh. If you've ever looked down at your inner thighs and thought, "They're just there to walk me around," you wouldn't be alone. Most men have no idea that running through this soft, quiet area is one of the most critical highways for sexual health and vitality. It's not flashy. It doesn't draw attention, but it matters a lot. Because along that line, where your thigh meets your torso, run the femoral artery and nerve. These are the main channels your blood and signals travel through to reach your lower organs. And when they become sluggish or tight from years of sitting, poor posture, or simply neglect, your body pays the price. Your circulation weakens. Your sensitivity dulls. And your morning strength becomes a distant memory. But here's the beautiful part. You can wake this pathway up again, gently, naturally, with nothing more than your fingertips and a few minutes a day. Let me tell you about Alan, 68, a retired mechanic who used to spend long hours behind the wheel. When I showed him this technique, he laughed at first. "Doc, I haven't touched my thighs in years unless they were sore." I told him, "Don't overthink it. Just lie back in a comfortable position and slowly trace your fingers from the inner crease where your thigh meets your torso, downward." When he found a tender spot, I asked him to pause, breathe, and apply gentle pressure for just a few seconds. What happened next surprised him. "I felt heat," he said, "like someone turned the power back on." That's what this third point does. It doesn't force anything. It invites. It encourages blood to flow. It re-engages the nerves. It reminds the lower body that it still matters and still works. And perhaps more than anything, it gives you back a sense of control. You're not waiting for something external to kick in. You're taking action with your own hands. You're reminding your nervous system, "I'm here. I care. I'm still connected." Many men who reawaken this inner thigh line also report better sleep, calmer mornings, and even stronger legs. Because when you reconnect one system, the rest of the body often follows. This isn't just about your manhood. It's about reclaiming the whole of you. If you try this practice and feel something shift, even a little, drop a 3 in the comments. Let's keep the energy flowing together. And now that you've activated all 3 points, what comes next is just as essential. Because while these techniques open the doors, it's your daily habits that keep them open. Let's explore those next. 4 daily habits that amplify the effect. By now, you've learned 3 quiet but powerful places on your body that can reignite circulation, sensation, and strength. But here's the truth. Even the most effective techniques won't last if your daily habits are silently working against them. It's like unlocking a door, only to find the room inside is still full of clutter. That's why we now turn to something just as important, the foundation. 4 small habits that support everything you've started. And no, they're not complicated. They don't require gym memberships or dramatic lifestyle changes. Just a shift in rhythm, in attention, in how you show up for your body each day. Let's begin with the first, breathing. Most men don't breathe, they survive. Shallow, tight, anxious breaths that stay stuck in the chest. But when you breathe slowly through your nose, deep into your belly, you send a message to your entire system. Relax, receive, flow. Just 5 minutes a day of slow nasal breathing can lower your blood pressure, raise your nitric oxide levels, and open your blood vessels, especially in the areas that matter most. The second habit is deceptively simple. Warm water. First thing in the morning. After a night's sleep, your body is dehydrated. Your blood is thicker. Your circulation's slower. A glass of warm water acts like a gentle push, restarting your system and thinning your blood just enough to improve flow, especially where you want it most. The third habit? Cutting back on evening sugar. It's sneaky. That little dessert or late-night snack doesn't just affect your waistline, it inflames your arteries. When blood vessels are inflamed, they can't expand. And when they can't expand, blood can't flow. Reducing sugar in the evening, even slightly, gives your vessels space to heal. Finally, habit number 4, movement. But not the kind you think. I'm not asking you to run marathons or lift heavy weights. A short, easy walk after dinner is enough to activate your venous pump, the system that helps move blood upward, back to the heart, and into all the right places. 10 minutes of gentle walking can make a world of difference for your circulation, digestion, and overall energy. And here's the deeper truth behind these habits. They aren't just physical. They are messages. Every time you drink warm water, take a deep breath, or go for a stroll, you're telling your body, I care. I'm listening. I'm still in this with you. It's consistency, not intensity, that brings results. So if one of these habits speaks to you, type 4 in the comments below. Let me know which one you're ready to try first. Because when these small actions align with the pressure points you've activated, something powerful begins to happen, not just in your body, but in how you feel about it. And now you may be wondering, do these quiet methods actually work? What do they look like in real life with real men? Let me show you. Real stories, real results, real hope. You've now learned the techniques. You've heard the science. You've been introduced to habits that quietly restore flow and connection. But sometimes what we need most isn't information. It's proof. Proof that someone like us, same age, same doubts, took a chance and felt something come back to life. I want to share just a few stories. Let's begin with Frank, 74, a former postmaster from Oregon. He stumbled onto my method one sleepless night, scrolling through videos, frustrated with how foreign his own body had begun to feel. He told me, Doc, I wasn't searching for miracles. I just wanted to wake up and not feel invisible. Frank began gently applying the 3-point practice every morning. He didn't rush. He didn't overthink. He treated it like a quiet conversation with a part of himself he'd neglected for too long. 2 weeks in, he emailed, This morning I woke up and felt present. Not just down there, but in myself. Then there's Elliot, 69, a retired firefighter. He wasn't looking to impress anyone. He simply wanted to feel that his body could still respond. He wrote, For the first time in years, I didn't feel numb. I felt respected by my own body. These stories are not rare. I've heard from hundreds of men, grandfathers, veterans, musicians, teachers, who all thought they were past their prime. What they discovered wasn't just improved blood flow or firmer mornings. They found something deeper, a return of dignity. Their relationships softened. Their sleep deepened. Some told me they started walking taller, not because of any physical change, but because they finally felt whole again. And that's the heart of this work. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming presence. It's about showing up in your own skin and saying, I'm still here. And I still matter. If any part of these stories speaks to you, type 5 in the comments. Let me know you're listening. Let the others here know they're not alone. Because healing is never just about the body. It's about returning home to the self that's been waiting beneath the silence. And now we've come to the most important part. Because learning is one thing, but turning it into something lasting, something sacred, requires one final shift. Let's talk about that now. Ritual over routine. You've made it to the end, and that means something. Because most men never get this far. They hear the word aging and stop listening. But not you. You've learned where to press. You've learned how to breathe. You've learned that your body, even after all these years, still holds the blueprint of strength, sensation, and confidence. But here's the truth. Knowing how is not enough. It's choosing to return every day that creates change. Not as a routine, not as a task, but as a ritual. A moment each morning where you remind your body, I'm here. I haven't given up on you. I'm still listening. Because when you show up with care, not force, your body listens back. That's when healing becomes real. Men like Frank, Elliot, and George didn't find transformation in a single session. They found it in quiet consistency. In the small, sacred act of reconnecting with themselves day after day. And now it's your turn. If this journey has spoken to you, subscribe to this channel so we can walk it together. And let us know in the comments, with a 6, that you're ready to reclaim your body, not just for performance, but for peace. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about moving forward with grace, strength, and quiet power. Because your strength never left you. It was simply waiting to be remembered.